Hey all heroes, welcome to another playtest of As Above So Below. This time I'm joined by Trina and we're going to be having another go at the scenario. Obviously the video tends to run quite long, well, provided of course that we survive. So a couple of adjustments have been made since the inaugural playtest. So now it's set to 1 upgrade per hero, which gives you 1 extra skill. I've selected Providence and Trina's selected Smash, which will help the Berserker be able to break through chests and things. Providence generally helps me with tests. So we've also been able to spend 10 gold. So Trina's picked up a couple of torches. I've purchased 1 and a pouch belt so I can carry a little bit more. And we are now ready to begin play. As above, so below. There is a terrible imbalance within the sacred shrine to Liu. It is in a place of seclusion, far from prying eyes, and few even know of it these days. The Order of the Sacred Grove have called on their heroes once more to investigate and get to the bottom of this. If the lines of ley running through the ancient stonework, like a lattice work of life, are severed, the veil will thin further than it currently has. Is this the work of a cult or druid of the dark path? You are given the route to the shrine and make haste to reach it ere the destruction is irreversible. The objective is to discover what has happened to cause this destabilization of the confluence of ley lines. And in 2-player, we have 12 rounds, and then after that, at the end of each subsequent round, we will be taking 1 damage, then 2 damage and 3 damage, and so on. So it gets quite tight if you hang around. We will lose the game if we flee. We will lose the game if we go into Twilight at the same time. And so now we arrive here in the entry tile, having travelled through the forest of Weir. You come to the end of the forest trail through the Weirwood, at last seeing a dark opening within a great mound and the stairs descending. So we begin round 1. Okay, well, you've got yourself a couple of enemy activations there, so you should probably go first whilst there are no enemies in play.
Yeah, I think I want to move forward.
Okay, so remove them and spend whatever you're going to spend to go forward. So you're going to go into the dungeon, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you go into the entry tile. I will clear... No, I won't. I'm going to wait to see what you do, because obviously there's a trap there. If I join you and you trigger the trap, we could both get caught by that trap. So it'd be better
I'm going to do a search.
You're going to search, okay? Yeah. So you have to remove and interact to do the search. Lovely. Got it. You need 3 successes.
Yep.
Okay, so you found that. Now you can either leave, knowing that you won't trigger it, or you can wait there. I can join you. Then you'd have to spend 2 cubes to enable me to pass through the zone safely.
Well, let's get you through safely. That would be nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to clear my enemy. I think I'll spend possibly an interact. No, I'm going to spend a class to step in here. Okay, now in order for you to point that out to me, you'd have to spend 2 cubes. So then I can just walk straight through. I won't even need to do a test. Okay, so now I'll spend 1 interact. And I go into here. That's a story point trigger. So we'll refer now to the, which would be your scenario. Place 1 shambling corpse per hero. A twitching, long-deceased figure of a man lurches about in the tomb, dead eyes vacant, a quizzical expression on a dumbfounded face. It is as though the shambling corpse is itself confused as to how it came to be here. You notice a small altar to one side of the tomb, and it is designed to house some kind of statue, perhaps, but the statue is not in its place. And it says basically in the descriptions to ignore the gravestones for now, and that you should leave the narrative prompts, which are the she spirals, face up with the numbers on, so reference points. Okay, so quite a lot of enemies about there. So I think I'm in the dark, aren't I, at the moment? So I will light my torch with the interact. So that's a 1. Now I can see these guys more clearly, and I realise there's 2 of them. So I'm going to use my Holy Smite on one of them, which uses this Triskelion, and so I get a +4 damage on this one. So, yep, that's actually nothing because I've missed. And so now I'm going to use Divine Pulse as an attack. One damage. So we can reduce those to 5. And okay, that's the end of the hero phase. So the enemy phase. I've got to activate one of those. So he's not going to move. He's just going to attack me. He's missed. Okay, so you've got to activate the other one. He's not going to move. He'll just attack me because I'm closest. And yeah, he's hit me. So I'll take a damage, and that damage will become a stun. So I'll pop that there so I know for next round. And then we're going to put 2 enemies of type A, which are these guys over at the yellow gate. So we've got some Geist-bound skeletons coming in over there. Okay, that concludes the first round. So we're now on to the second, and we generate our dice, our activation cubes, and do our upkeep, of course. Oh, there we go. I've got 4 Triskelions. I'm going to lose a Triskelion to pay for my stun. Okay. I didn't get any enemy activations. Did you? All right. Well, I've got light up here. If you want to come in and attack these guys, that's up to you. We need to be finishing the round a little ways away from them, if we can, because, well, actually it depends on whether they've been defeated. So let's see where things are at by then. So did you want to step in?
Yes.
Okay. Right then.
And then I'll add Mighty Blow to add +4.
Okay, so Mighty Blow costs a Triskelion to activate.
Yep.
Then a combat to attack.
Yep.
And you get +4 to this attack roll. So that's 7. So you've killed one outright, so that's a soul. Nice work. Okay, so that leaves us with 5, yeah? If he's gone, we're going to be relatively safe. So
I could Red Mist.
Yeah, Red Mist him and crack on. Because then we'll be safe in the enemy phase. That's really important.
Mm-hmm.
We won't take damage then.
So +2.
Yeah. So it's 2, 4. Yeah. So it's down to 1. It's got 1 health left. I'll use a combat just to see if I get just 1 success, it'll get rid of him. Yep. Okay. So he goes out of it. And now we've each got a soul. Okay. So we can see that basically where the story prompts are, which are the she spirals. Now, obviously, if we're trying to find out what's causing the destabilization of the ley lines, that's why you want to hit those story prompts, because they're going to tell you more than exploring the dungeon. but we've got traps in the way, and we've got a gravestone we ignore and a treasure chest in each zone. I've got 5 health and you've still got 8, so you should probably explore over me. But which way would you want to go?
Well, I really want to get to the corner, don't I, to get to that shoe spiral.
You want to get to the top left, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. So
it doesn't matter which way I go.
No, it doesn't really. So pick one and we'll go.
I'll go straight ahead.
Okay, so use a cube to move. But there is a trap there. Are you just going to go straight through, or are you going to search for that trap? Bear in mind you've got 8 health at the moment, so...
I think I'm going to go through.
Okay, so that's going to trigger the trap. And provided the trap doesn't get you, you'll be able to move into the next zone. It is a spear trap, so roll a hand of dice as the spear trap goes off. For every combat you get, you'll take a damage. So you're going to take 2 damage. Now, if you were wearing armour, you would have been able to take some damage off of that, but you don't have any at the moment. Okay, so that's that trap played.
But does that mean I can move forward?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, did you spend the cube? You did.
I did spend it.
Okay, so you get there, we flip that, and we read the second passage. So, a shimmering energy field here seems to be opening and closing, a fissure in reality, from the land of the quick to the spirit world. You look about you to see a chamber laden with age-old alchemical equipment. On top of a cupboard is a kind of ornate cradle here, as though something should be resting in it. You may search 3 times here in this zone, and each successful search results in drawing a potion. The rest of the potions have been fouled by the passage of time, or their usefulness has waned. You use a cooldown dice set to 3 to track this, and once those have been removed, you put a search token in the zone like normal and keep the sheet spiral up. So we got a cooldown of 3 there, and basically every time that you get a successful search in that zone, you draw in a potion. That's really, really good. I could go the other way, but I think it might be I haven't got any interacts. It might be a good idea if I go the other way. But there is a trap there. Difficult, isn't it? Difficult. I think for speed, we've in the previous playtest we really didn't have the time, so I'm going to try to go through. I think so. I'm going to spend a class to go into here. Then I am going to try and see if I can. All right, we're going to spend that, and we're going to flip this. Darts. Okay, I've got to roll 3 dice against each hero in the room, so it's just as well I'm on my own. And I'll take 1 damage for every combat, so that's 1 damage. That puts me down to 4. Okay, what else? Place a poison dice 2 on each hero who additionally rolled an enemy. Got it. Damn. Okay, so I've got poison 2. That's really bad. But I've made it through to here. Let's hope that doesn't put any enemies in play. So, let's see. For a sacred shrine meant to be dedicated to Liu, there is precious little of Liu evident. In fact, there is a dais here which seems to have a setting for a relic to rest, but there is no relic present. In that instant, you are shocked when a well spirit rises up out of the well before you, arms spread wide, radiating a brilliant light as though a sun has appeared before you. The well spirit is the most beautiful being that you have ever seen, but she is in terrible pain. Her brightness is almost blinding, though, and her appearance has both taken you by surprise and awed you. Will test 3 and take 1 stun per fail. My will is 6, so I need 3 successes, and I have got 2, so I've got 1 fail. So if I spend that, it leaves me with a combat. So, okay. Help me, I am fading. The anchors of the world are not aligned. Everything here is fragmenting. She cries out in agony. Quick, the standing stone reveals all. So you have to interact to read the standing stones, which is probably just engraved with Ogarm script. Well, it is. I know that it is. So test faith 3 to make sense of the stone, or test faith 2 if you're a feigned priest. So I can't do that test at the moment. I don't have any interacts. So until I generate an interact, I can't do that. But you could do it, but it's slightly more difficult. So that's the end of the hero phase, unless you haven't got anything to spend. Neither have I. So that's the end of the hero phase. Enemy phase, there's no enemies in the land of the quick. This is the land of the dead. Not to give too much away, but this is the land of the quick. So with the land of the quick, there's no enemies there, so we're all good. Enemies in this board don't activate unless someone's there in that board, which means we're just going to go straight to spawn. And we've got one enemy of type B, which I think is a shambler. Yeah, shambling corpse is going to come in here. It's at the yellow gate as well, isn't it? Yeah. And we've got serpents. Now, if we had resetting traps, they would reset on that serpent, but we haven't had one yet. So, like in the other one, we had like swinging blades in that zone, and it was an absolute nightmare. They just kept on. One of the worst traps just kept on activating and chopping us up.
It ended the game.
It got nasty, yeah. Well, it's one of the reasons. Anyway, so that's the end of the round. So now I've got to take 2 damage from my poison and dial that down as the poison begins to wane. So as you can see, that's why I was like, oh, I'm in a bit of trouble. So we go into round 3 and we reset.
You didn't do your combat?
Oh, yeah, I didn't do my combat. Yeah, no, I won't. I'll need that. I'll probably need to generate as many dice as I can. Right. So... But thank you for the reminder, because it could have been important, couldn't it? Okay. Yeah. Okay, I've got 1 enemy activation, so I want to get rid of that. I've actually got 3 interact, that's quite helpful. Ultra Skellions. Right. You've got some interacts there. Did you want to start so that you can maybe have a search for some of these potions? Have a look and see what you need. That might sway you, mightn't it? If they're too difficult to find. It's a regular search, so it's 2 successes. Not bad.
I'll do one then.
Yep. Okay. Not on that roll.
Let's try one more time.
Yep.
Yes.
But yes on that roll. Okay. I think I lit my torch. I don't think I did my upkeep on my torch.
No.
Okay, so you've got 1, so I'll give you a potion. There you go, and I'll dial that down.
I've got a potion of speed.
That's a good one. There's a lot of good ones though. An elixir is also really, really helpful when you haven't got much health. Have you been damaged? You have. Did you want to search again before you come over here, or do you not want to? What do you fancy doing? Because I mean, that potion's really good. If you can get a healing potion as well, it might be worth going for another one. No. Okay, so you might want to spend the rest. If you can join me, that trap's gone off, so that's not going to hurt you. Oh, I forgot, you've got Smash, haven't you? Oh well, later on maybe. Try and remember that you can open up chests a little bit more easily than other people. So you've used 2 to get to me. I'm now going to use my Divine Pulse to heal us, because that's actually more important than reading this script, I think. Well, probably equally, but yeah. See if we can get some health back. 1. Sorry about that.
That's better than none.
Yep, it is, especially when I've still got that poison affecting me. Okay, so now I'll have a go at reading this thing. But first of all, I'm going to sacrifice a class. I should have got rid of my enemy results. Well, there was no enemies in play. Class. Now that means I get +1 to the success. Okay. So now I'll do me interact. It's a faith test.
Ooh.
Passed. Okay. Good. So let's see. Yeah, I only need 2 as a feigned priest. A blazing imprint of strange words and glyphs erupt from the stone as you run your eyes over it. They seem to float into your mind, at first an enigma, and then making perfect sense. In that moment, the ground below you no longer seems solid, and you begin to descend. In a panic, you try to prevent the earth from swallowing you, but a miasma of green energy is drawing you into the spirit world. There's our miasma of green energy. So I've got to place the hero who read the stone into the spirit world. in the spirit world version of the graveyard below. So basically I just sink through into that zone. Okay. Any hero can now exit the Land of the Quick using a universal cube. That's an activation cube of any type, and then they go down into this zone, right? The objectives updated. Bring the stones of Skelos to their resting places in the Land of the Quick and also the Land of the Dead. The she spirals 1, 2, and 3 mark the zones where the stones should be. The gravestones may now be searched. Search 2. Once found, collect immediately. These are small items and the number on them tells you which zone to drop them in using a universal cube, and that will put them in their place. So if you remember, that's like the dais, the cradle, and the altar on this level. Yeah. Now, in the Land of the Dead, you've still got the same zones, 1, 2, 3, yeah? But instead of gravestones, you've got to move the Triskelions to those locations, right? Okay. So whoever reads the Ogham can go basically through the floor in the spirit world, which is what I just did. That now has that gateway active for the rest of the game. So, yep. Enemies in a realm where there's no hero do not activate. They can't be selected as furthest away in the enemy phase. And it only pertains to enemies in your realm. Okay, so below. You stand now in a dark chamber within a shadow-haunted replica of the world above. There is a cage flashing with a strange and an eldritch energy. It is a soul cage. So with a soul cage in this game, it effectively becomes an extra zone. You can't search it, but you spend a cube to go into it and then a soul, and that will return you to the Land of the Quick. So that's how you exit. So now we've got to get everything lined up as quickly as possible. Obviously, I've got the potential of enemies, but if I activate one, because we've got the Shambling Corpse, that actually buys me a bit of time because he can only move one. So for you, you've got a combat left. We kind of just need to conclude the round. Are you going to join me, or are you going to start work up there? What do you fancy?
Well, I could use that cube to get in and join you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right then. So you're going to come down into the Land of the Dead with me. So there we go. All right, we are together again. I will. I'm probably going to bank this so that I've got Holy Smite for next turn. I'm going to take a damage at the end of the round anyway. So for now, I'll interact to search the zone, see if I can find anything useful, or actually I'm not. I'm going to bank both. That way I'll get some healing next turn for sure as well. Okay, and then I'll take that one damage. No. Get to the end of the round first. So that's the end of the hero phase. So now the enemies, unfortunately now we have got to activate 2 enemies. I went last, so I'll activate him. He's going to take 1 movement to there. But you're going to have to roll 3 dice to activate a Geistbound Warrior, a skeleton. Okay, so he's got 3 moves, but you've rolled no combats. So even when he arrives, he can't actually start hurting us. Okay, then I take the 1 damage from the poison dart, and I get rid of the poison. So now we go into round 4. Oh no, we spawn. Then we go into round 4, moving a bit quickly. So we've got an enemy of type C at the yellow gate, which is our first Veilgaunt. They're pretty dangerous creatures. They're basically beings that have gotten caught in the purgatorial wastes on the edge of the Land of the Dead. And because they've been there in this negative energy plane for so long, it's sucked all the life out of them. So they go around trying to steal the warmth from the living. But because they're such low energy beings, when they attack you, if they miss, the energy they expend actually hurts them. So it's a bit unpredictable quite what to expect from them, but they can recharge and revitalize and become really quite powerful. Right, so start of round 4, we need to do our upkeep. So my smite's back and my pulse is reset, divine pulse. I'm going to put my 2 cubes across, and then I'm going to roll just 4 dice for my activation. Okay, so that's what I've rolled. Got lots of interacts, but not a lot of combat. You've got enemy activations, okay.
I did, yeah. Sorry.
Okay, well, if you don't mind, probably a good idea for you not to activate just yet.
Yeah.
First of all then, because I've got quite a few options, I'm going to do an interact there, try and heal first of all with a divine pulse. This will help me more than you. I've got 3 in total, which is the best roll I've had for a while with that. But there you go. Okay, so you should be at full.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now with you at full and me at 5, I think this is probably our best opportunity maybe our best opportunity for you to come into the game. Yeah. So do you want to activate the skeleton first? I think it is. Go on. So roll 3 dice, see what he does. Wow, he's got no combats. That's brilliant. Okay. So for whatever reason, he's wandering around. He's not a very professional skeletal warrior, is he? All right. So now the next nearest is, unfortunately, is the shambling corpse. So you use your other enemy. You've got to clear them both at once. And then he's going to come in. He's going to attack the most healthy, which is, fortunately for me, you. So roll 2 dice against yourself. He's hit you for 1. So you're going to take 1 damage, but you've also got to lose something to a stun.
I'll lose the interact.
Okay, yep. Seems like a good idea. A bit awkward, to be honest with you, with all these enemies about, but our objectives are not in this zone, which is worth remembering. Let's have a look at what I've got available. I do have Holy Smite available, so I can smite one of these. It might be useful. We're on round 4. I didn't dial up my torch. So I think I'll use Smite and try and get rid of maybe the skeletal warrior, because we can outpace him if we run.
Well, I've got 3 attacks as well to get through.
Yeah, but again, if we run, it might be our best bet, because we can start getting at the Driskellians quickly. Okay. But I'll certainly do this first of all, just see what happens with the Holy Smite, because it might be useful. But I'm going to go against the skeletal warrior because he's quite nippy. Is that a good idea? So, I mean, it's actually either that or we just get running. I think we should just get running, maybe.
Okay.
Because there's 2 of them over here, which gives us a little bit of distance between us and the other enemies, and we've both at the moment got the distance to get. Got the activation cubes to get there, and if you drink your speed potion, you could even make it even quicker.
I would be go through a trap though.
Yeah, well, I'm quite happy. I'll go and set that off. Well, I can't really. The thing about it is that at some point, as long as I have an interact, even if we're split up, I can heal myself, whereas you can't.
Yeah.
So it's worth, if we're going to take risks. But I think it probably is worth it, because we could end up getting caught here, mired into a bit of a fight. Enemy phase starts. Those guys come and join us because they move pretty quickly, and before we know it, we're bogged down in a fight for several rounds.
Okay. Let's go.
Could be round 7 before we start getting the items, getting the stones of Skelos. So I think that's the best thing. I can see that I kind of swayed you, but originally you thought, let's fight them here, didn't you? No?
Sometimes it is better to just run.
Yeah, well, the other thing is this, that next round we might be much better able to fight in the middle somewhere, because you'll have Mighty Blow and Red Mist available again. At the moment you don't.
Next round I'll have a lot to use.
So we'll try that. But so for me, I'll probably need interacts to try and get the stones, so I'll need to preserve those a bit. So I'm only going to be able to reach 2, so I'll use 1 interact for now to see what happens. So I'll go into here, and the thing is, we've got this trigger as well, haven't we? So okay, so that whatever the trigger is could switch things up.
Yeah.
You see 2 pinprick lights of malign energy shining in the dark. It already sounds good, doesn't it? And before long, you realise that some long-fallen champion of an era long past has risen from the long sleep to seek battle again. You can't help but notice strange engravings in his armour, and he appears imbued with malevolent power. Spawn a Grave Knight, but he will loot. He's going to loot drop a longsword. A longsword is really very powerful, and it's a standard item, so it's harder to lose in combat. I've just got to see. There's his miniature. So he's come in. I'll get his enemy scroll. He's pretty tough. We don't really want to get involved in too much of a fight with him, but I am going to set off a trap if I go. I think, though, that I should probably try and smite him whilst I've got it. Because if I get a lucky hit, I might take him out. I'm going to try it.
All right.
All right, then. So, but before I do that, because I'm making an attack, I do have to trigger a trap. It's a dart.
Oh.
Something clicks, but nothing happens. If a trap was ever present, my God is with me. And it seems it is in disrepair and no longer poses a threat. So, yeah. You've had spears, I've had darts and poison, and now we finally got a dud, so something went well. Now that bodes well. Let's see. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Come on, let's wreck him. We've got 2 + 4 is 6.
Oh my god.
He's got 6 health, but he's got 1 defense.
Oh,
but yep, no, that's fine. His defense does count. Damn. So he's down to 1 health. Wrong one. Down to 1 health. I was going to say I've got energy damage, so it bypasses his defense, but his defense is sort of supernatural anyway. It's not just because he's got armor. Okay, so he's got 1 health left, but that was pretty damn good. I'm quite happy with that. So I could actually still attack him, but my attacks are not very strong. I need to have 2 successes out of 4 dice. So it might be better that I just slip the other way now. I've set the trap off, yeah, and I'll spend my combat to head that way. So I've gone into here, yeah. Now we kind of want you to join me, don't we? Mm. Or you could stay there and fight. You've got 8 health. You've got 7 health, so you're okay where you are.
Well, I could go in and kill the knight, hopefully.
Oh yeah, you get the long sword. Mm. Good. Yeah. Okay. So spend a combat. Go in there. Yep, that's brilliant. Good suggestion. So you're going to hit him now. So spend another combat. Here it is for you.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Thank you.
Yep. 2 successes.
Yes.
3. Yes. Okay. So before he gets Tonkin, as he's risen from his grave, we've taken him out. You get a soul. And you get the long sword, which I should have set aside, but I've been putting cards under it. There you go.
Thank you.
So the Grave Knight is defeated. Oh, good. I thought he was going to get to go. When he goes, he's pretty powerful, but he gets more powerful the longer you leave him in play.
And I'll just scurry.
You've got 1 more, so you're going to join me?
Join you, yeah.
Okay, so that puts us maximum distance from the enemy. So now I'm actually going to probably bank this so that I've got healing for next turn. But I will first of all search to see if I can get hold of that Triskelion, because that's going to be a Stone of Skelos. Yeah, that's 4 successes. I reckon I've got that. So we've got the number 3. So I'll pop that on my board. And we can see that the number 3 has got to be in this zone here. Okay, so I'll be dropping that off when we leave.
Okay.
Right. And then I'll bank the other interact. That one I spent doing that search. So that concludes my activity and yours. Hero phase over. Enemy phase starts. So we've now got to select an enemy. And I went last and select an enemy that's furthest away. Now, I'm obviously going to pick him because they're equidistant. So he's going to move 1. He's not going to reach us. So I'll pick him. But now you've got to pick, and I would pick one of the skeletons if I were you.
Yeah.
Because you don't want that Valgorn
I'd kind of like to move him out of that zone anyway. So.
All right. So roll 3 dice. And this time he does. So what would that happen here is you use that and that to move him because he wants to keep his attack.
Yeah.
1, 2. So now he's got here. He's going to attack. He's attacking the most. Who's got the most health?
Me.
You. So he's attacking you on 2 dice, and he's hit you for 1 damage. Okay. So that concludes the enemy phase, and then of course we're going to draw a card, and we're going to put an enemy of type A over there by the blue gate. We can ignore the serpents because that's not going to do anything at the moment. Enemy of type A is the Geistbound. Is a Geistbound. So we've got one of them waiting for us now in the alchemical laboratory. Yep, that concludes the end of round 4. So we go into round 5, and obviously it's upkeep time. I'm going to put that interact across, and then I've got 5 dice to roll. That was the sound of a scowl.
Yeah, well,
did you get some enemies coming in?
Yeah,
what's going on?
Just one.
Yeah, I've got 1 as well. And it's got to be the nearest. So I reckon I think I should probably. You can go first, I suppose. Get the skeleton out of the way. Get the damage done. Yep. Roll the 3 dice. So he's got 2 attacks. So his first one's going to be at you because you've still got 1 more health than me. 2 damage to you. That puts you on 4. Oh dear. Okay. And now he's got a second attack, but this one's at me because I've got more health than you now. He's missed me. Okay, good.
Oh,
so now you can do some stuff.
Right.
And I would suggest you do.
Should I kill him?
I would encourage you to do that, yes.
I think I'm gonna I don't know if I should use my abilities for him or if I should use my longsword on him.
Just use a longsword.
Yeah.
If you get one hit, he's going to die because he's only got 4 health.
Exactly.
Sorry, didn't realise that's what you was thinking about.
Yeah, I didn't know.
So remove a combat. And yep, 6 dice plus 3. Now you've rolled 1 enemy, but if you'd rolled 2 enemies, you would have damaged your sword.
Yeah.
But you've done 4 damage, which kills the skeletal warrior. So he's gone. You gain a soul for that. Nice. When you get 5, you can buy a skill if you want to, or you can save up and increase an attribute. All right, so you've killed him. So now I'm going to activate, because it's it's probably the best for me to do that now. He's going to step in. He's actually going to attack me. He's got me for 1 damage, which puts me down to 4 health. Right. And I've got to spend. I've got to lose something. Well, I'm not that good in combat anyway, so I'll lose a combat. All right. That's from the stun. Now I can do some stuff. And so I'm going to use an interact to immediately use Divine Pulse to heal. I could use it aggressively to attack, but I'd rather try to get us some health back. And it's 2 health back each. That actually puts me back up to 4, but I know it's maybe you on 4?
No, I'm 6.
You're on 6. Okay.
2 away.
So both on 6 health now. Okay, I don't know if I dialed down my Holy Smite or not. Probably doesn't matter, to be fair, it's not going to be available. So, all right, I've got an interact. So I think I need to go for that other Triskelion. What do you reckon? Because you've got a combat.
Yeah.
You've got 3 interacts as well. No, you should go for that. You should go in there for that. That Triskelion, I reckon. Yeah. Because you okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I use my speed?
Well, you don't know, so it's all right. Yeah, go on. Oh, you got a potion of speed?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Use that instead, yeah?
Yeah, well, you've still got to drink it. So drink it with the interact.
Oh, right.
Roll a d6, a blue d6. You've got it for 4 rounds. Okay, so it gives you +2 to movement, yeah? So you can obviously use the first of those movement to go in there, but you've got a trigger, and that's 6. So I'll give you a little bit of the story. We'll find out what's happening. As you walk through the corridors of the spirit world, you see the walls begin to split, and eldritch energy comes pouring in as though the place is falling apart somehow. Perhaps you're taking too long. Lancing spears of wicked lightning flash across the zone, coming from some other place. Roll a hand of dice. Roll as few combats as possible. You got 1. Okay, so one of us is going to take 2 damage and get knocked prone.
Probably me. Don't forget there's a trap in there.
No, we're good. I'll take the 2 damage and get knocked prone. Because we need you to get that other thing. So basically this bolt of lightning has flashed and struck me. Okay? Because the rules are that it ignores armour. It can be divided amongst the heroes in the spirit world. Only one of them can strike any individual and place any hero struck prone. It costs any cube to stand up. So I've been struck. I'll spend a combat to stand up. And you can carry on with what you were doing in there.
The trap.
But you've got a trap. So are you going to search for the trap? You'd need 3 successes to search for the trap. Or you can search for the Stone of Skelos. You need 2 successes for that.
I'm going to search for the Stone of Skelos and set it off.
Okay, so spend an interact, and then we'll see what happens with the trap and hope it's not a firebomb or something.
Yeah.
Ah! Okay, so you're not going to get that this round. So you put the cube back in because you're not going to have spent that. So, yeah, roll a hand of dice because you've got a spiked pit.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. So you're trying to search and go into the pit. Right, so place the pit token. You're going to take 3 damage if you fail, which you did. So you're down to 3 health. It costs a cube to escape the pit, or I could pull you out if I come through there. But if I pull you out, I could pull you out. I could step in and pull you out. That would give you 2 chances of getting the stone. Yeah? Yeah. Okay? So we do that?
Okay.
So I'll step in with the combat. I'll use the interact to pull you out. This is a bad idea, isn't it? Yeah, it's a bad idea. I need to bank that to give us healing next turn. So, yep, spend a combat maybe. That gets you out there. Then you've got 2 attempts to try and find the thingy. Yeah.
So first attempt.
The Stone of Skelos. Yep. So you need 2 successes.
Yes.
Nailed it. Okay, so what one's this? This is a 2. You put it on your board. Where do you need to get the 2 to? The 2's got to go in the top corner. We've got to head up there anyway to get that Triskelion at some point. Okay. I think if you activate him, he's going to go towards the nearest, most healthy. So
We'll stay with you. So
we kind of want to end up together. You've still got an interact, so do you want to just join me?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm going to bank that for next round, and I might as well use this combat here just to hit him.
Yeah.
Yeah, missed him. Okay, well, am I? Right, that's the end of the hero phase. So now it's the enemy phase. And in the enemy phase, we've both got to select one. I went last, so I've got to select one that's furthest away from me, which I'm going to select, obviously, I'll select the skeleton. He's going to get in. 1, 2, and he's going to have 1 attack, which will be at me. But he's missed me with 2 interacts there. So that's useful. But now you are going to have to activate the Veil Gaunt, which is somewhat more scary. Okay. We'll see what this vampiric being gets up to. All right then, Trina. So with him, he's got 4 health at the start, but his movement's a bit randomised by basically his activation sequence. So you roll 4 dice. All right, so you can see that you've got 2 enemies and you've got 2 combats. Now he uses enemies to move, which is just enough to reach us because we're 2 away. So the Veil Gaunt has reached us. He has got a combat. As long as there's 1 combat, he gets to make an attack. He doesn't get an attack per combat. Okay, so in this instance, you roll a hand of dice against the hero with the most health, which is me. And you're just not going to want Triskelions. And you didn't get a Triskelion, so if you had, you would have done 3 damage to me, and he would have got 3 extra health. But there's no Triskelion among those interacts, which means he actually does damage to himself.
Ooh.
You expending the energy to make the attack. So that was really, really good. Okay, cool.
And we've got him out of the zone we need to be in.
Yep. But we've now got another enemy in there. We're spawning an enemy of type A. We're getting all the yellow gates out, which makes this a tough level. But there you go. There he is. So that's a Geistbound warrior. Now we're going into round 6. So I've got to dial up my torch. If you get an interact this round, might be a good idea for you to use your torch, to light a torch.
Yes.
Right. Okay. One enemy, lots of other stuff going on.
I don't have any. So do you want me to just light my torch now while...
Yeah, because at the end of the round, I'm going to run out of energy. Yeah, maybe not, actually. You know what? You could have banked combat last round, couldn't you? You still had that potion. Oh, tell you what. Yeah, that's easy. Brilliant. Don't worry about me too much, because I can activate something that won't kill me, right? You've got the potion of speed still, haven't you?
Yes.
There's no trap here, so you could go 1, 2 into that zone.
Yes.
Then you could drop off the Stone of Skelos for any cube.
Mm-hmm.
You could try and interact on the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably your best bet. It gets quite a lot achieved.
Okay, let's do that then.
So you go 1, 2. That's used your potion.
To use something for...
No, you don't need to use it. It always gives you 2 movement.
Right.
So now that you're there, you can spend any cube.
Any cube.
Yeah, you might not want to give up your Mighty Blow because that could be useful. Any cube. Yep.
Interact. Combat.
Combat's probably best. Yeah. Because the interact you might need to get the other one, but that puts that one in. So we'll pop that there, sort of off to one side, and we'll put that there so we know that's aligned. All right. Just move the gate there. Right. This makes it a little bit more clear. But you've gone in there. Oh, we didn't do the prompt. Hopefully the prompt won't stop you from achieving that. We shall see. We can retcon it and go too far, do we? Right. Oh, it doesn't change it. As you search the land of the dead in this spirit world, mirror image of the shrine above it, you see much to imply this is a sacred place of a being beyond imagination, a shining goddess. Did the druids tell you wrong? How can that be? Suddenly shadows shift in this place, and you see one that grows in form and power before you. Spawn 1 wraith per hero in the land of the dead. So we've got 2 wraiths in there with you, but you can still have done what you did. So let's have a look at the wraiths. Yeah. Okay. They only got a couple of health, but they're incorporeal. So when you attack them, even when you've got light, you have to re-roll your combat successes, and only subsequent successes then carry through as damage. But you have got that longsword, so that's okay. It's not as bad as it would be for sort of someone like myself.
I think I need to light the torch and hit something then.
Maybe let's not jump the gun. Let's not jump the gun. I don't want you to run. I think your best bet is to see if you can get that Triskelion with an interact, because that changes your options. Because we know my one's got to go there, so we know that the one there has got to go here. Yeah. So this should be this is a 1. So that has got to come back into here, right? So Raves move 2, which is not great, but that kind of means you can, if you've got 2 movement, or you could have 2 movement, you could come back to me, and I've got light this zone, this turn, so you could jog back to me.
What do I use? Do I save a combat, or do I?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, you can use anything to drop the Stone of Skelos off. I would probably use the class for 1 movement, and maybe 1 combat. I don't know. What would you do with the interact? Oh, possibly if you've got an interact left at the end of the turn, you can light your torch. So step in with a combat. Okay. Now,
do you want me to try 1 attack with the red mist and the sword?
No, because if the moment that you do that, you can't light your torch this turn and drop off the stone. You need 2 cubes. So at this point, I think we need to see what happens to me. What do you think?
Yeah.
So I've got to activate an enemy. I'm going to go with the skeleton. Yeah. He's got 1 attack. So he's going to attack the most healthy, which is me. And he's got 2 damage. What bugger. All right. So 2 damage against me. That's done. Now I can act. So the first thing is, I'll heal us both, yeah?
That would be nice.
Okay. This is why I quite like the fact that with like the Sign of Brigid, which is a skill for the Val Warden, it's definitely my favourite character. He's not as powerful in 1 hit potentially, but you've got the surety of things, you know? I quite like that because I tend to not be so lucky with dice, which you'll see. I have said all that, and then I've rolled 5 successes. Now, that already puts me and you at full, so I don't need to roll the other 2, but let's just see. Set a record, 6. That was great. Okay, so I'm up to 6. Excuse me, everyone watching, but that's just joy. All right, then. So
and he is literally bouncing.
So that was really good. So now, if you could, we've got enough health now that we should be fine. So if you drop off your Stone of Skelos in this zone with a combat, that will mean that that's set there. So we've got 2, right? Then if you use your interact to light your torch.
On 1, yeah?
Yeah. Then I think probably we need to stay together still, which is, but I could go 1, 2. Yeah, it's not great, is it? Let's see what happened. This is the hero phase. The enemy phase, you'd potentially get 2 attacks against you. If you'd be selecting the stuff that's furthest away, so it might not be as bad as all that. You've got 8 health. Some of them might come towards me, would be equidistant. I don't know. Can't remember the behaviours of the raves, exactly who they go towards. They're going to be going towards the most healthy, unfortunately, but that will change up. Interesting. I think we should split up, and I should get the other thing done.
Well, go for it then.
If I dart it out, I'll go 1 to here. Someone there is going, he never learns. But I haven't got Holy Smite back, so I'll use an interact for that. Yeah. Then I'll use a second interact to go into here. Then I'll use the class to drop this, and we've got the down below completely aligned. And we are halfway through
Now we just need to
count.
survive and then we can get out because we've both got a soul to get out.
Yeah, and I can bank the interact to give us some healing next turn.
Okay.
All right, that's done. I'm finished. You're finished. Enemy phase. So I finished. I finished last, so I've got to activate first. So I pick either a wraith or the skeleton. I'm probably going to pick the skeleton because the wraith isn't great. What does he target? He has a life leech, deals 1 damage to might per fail. That'd be pretty bad for me and you. But you've got the sword, which will overcome that. And then if he does the other one, he does assault and he does everyone in the zone. So actually, probably a good thing that we have split up. But I'm still gonna. Who's he go? Was most healthy?
If you grab that one, I can grab that one.
I think that we need them both to go against you because you've actually got the most health. You can take quite a lot of the damage. So if I activate one of these and he goes towards the most healthy, I'll activate the wraith and that leaves you with the skeleton. Okay? Okay, so I'll activate a wraith. He's going to move 2. He's going to pick the most healthy, which is you, so he floats in here. Then he's got a random roll. So we'll see what he gets. He's got a Triskelion, so he's doing a Soul Taint Scream. So if I'd have been in there, it would have affected me as well. You've got a Test Metal 3. So you need 3 successes and your metal is 6.
No.
So you failed by 1. Okay, you lose 1 health. No, 1 might.
Oh my god.
And you take 1 stun. Okay, that's the wraith done. That was the Soul Taint Scream. So basically, it's scared you and it's also drained some of your health. With its presence, sort of like a Dementor in Harry Potter, this one, I suppose. For those who are familiar with them, probably everybody. Right, let's have a look. What else have we got? Now you've got to activate an enemy furthest away. I would advise you very strongly to activate the skeleton.
Really? Would you?
Yeah,
I would. Then, yeah.
Okay, well, he gets his 3 dice.
Well, it gets an attack.
Yeah, he's also going towards the most healthy, which is still you. Okay. And he's missed you. Right, that ends that. So now we've got a spawn. We've got a Veilgorn. Of course we have. He's coming in over there. Oh. Yeah. So that's going to be more trouble in the land of the quick when we get there, if we get there. Going into round 7. And I've got Holy Smite back this round. I haven't done a lot with it this game, but I know I have, haven't I? I did hit that Grave Knight, didn't I? Really well. I've got to move that across. Put out. My torch burns out.
Do I still roll 6?
My torch burns out. Have you got a torch? Yeah.
I've done it.
So I'm in the dark now.
Do I still roll 6 when I've got a stun and then
resolve? Yeah, you do, yeah.
And I can't remove an enemy activation, unfortunately. That much I know.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. It's also the reason why you don't take out the dice. And you take out the cubes.
Take out that one for...
Okay, so the stun is paid for, and the rest of them go in. So you've got 3 combats and 2 Triskelions.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I've got a couple of enemy results, which is not good news. I was hoping to keep clear of them. So we've got 2, that, and then I've unfortunately got 2 enemies. All right, that's bad news.
I could use my speed to get to you, so we're together.
Yeah, and then you'd be able to absorb some of the damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So that's what you did first, yeah? So have you... Yeah. Well, no, that doesn't cost a cube.
Oh.
You said you used your potion.
Yes.
That gives you 2 movement. Yeah. Okay. So now I've got to activate 2 of the nearest enemies. So obviously I'm going to activate him because he's not going to reach us. And then I'm going to activate a skeleton because minimal amount of damage they can do. So he's going to come in 1, 2. He's going to attack you because you've got more health than I have. He's got 2 dice. He's hit you for 1 damage. So now I can do something, and I'm going to heal us because that makes the most sense. Does it?
No,
I'm not damaged. I'm not damaged. I'm not
down.
Yeah. I was like, oh, we're in so much trouble. We're in so much trouble, but we're not, are we? We've actually got this lined up. Have you got soul? Yeah, you have.
Yeah, I do.
So have I. So we could actually return to the land of the quick, which probably is a good idea. So for me, it's going to cost me. It's going to cost me 1 to get into to here. So we use a combat for that. Then my soul, and then I can come back through to the land of the quick. Okay, so for you, I'd advise at least using maybe a class to get into the soul cage, and then a soul will get you back off of that level. So there we go. We can now pretty much forget what's going on over there because we're not going back there, and we've got it all in alignment. Yeah. So to double check, that would have been embarrassing, wouldn't it? Right. Oh no, we haven't.
No, we got to go back.
Okay.
Oh.
So we've now got to get hold of these. We've now got to get a hold of these things. Now, one of the best things to do here is, if we can, you've got 3, 1, 2, you'd get 1 attack. I've got the same. I could go 1, 2, get 1 attack. We could dash up there towards the blue gate and try and tonk the Valgaunt out of the game, because that would probably be a good idea. And I think that with the trap already being sprung, you should do that. Then I will see if you're successful, and if you aren't, I'll dart up there and try and get a finishing blow.
And save the day, yeah.
So you go, well, yeah. So, you could actually use 2 combats.
And then save the mighty blow.
Yeah, and then actually use mighty blow. Well, you don't need mighty blow, though. He's only got 4 health. So if you hit him with a sword, he's going to die. You don't need mighty blow. Have more attacks, yeah. Sorry, I mean, to tell you what to do, but I just realised that's silly. He's only got 4 health.
Yeah, that's what I am.
Yeah, you got a +3 with that sword. So ignore what I was telling you. Right. Red mist would give you +2. Yeah.
Let's do red mist.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Spend a combat.
Yeah.
So 6 dice, and you're going to have a +5 on this. You just need to hit him. 1, 2, 7. Yeah. Okay. He's dead. That's a soul. Okay. So that's recovered your soul you spent using soul cage. Okay then, that's good. You've still got a combat left, so by all means see if you can get rid of the skeleton.
All right then.
Now you've still got the red mist, so you've still got the same bonuses. Wow!
I murdered him.
You've obliterated him. That was like 10 damage or something.
Painted the walls.
Yeah, 10 damage. 10 damage. Okay, cool. So he got slaughtered. All right then. Now, what can I do then? So I think that, searching this zone seems like a bit of a waste. I'm going to spend a combat to go forward and search here to try and see what this is. All right. I've got it. So that is 1. So that needs to go into that room there.
Oh, that's easier now.
Where are the other ones? Directly either way, so I might as well spend the interact to go there. Okay, so that's that done. Hero phase is over. None of these enemies here activate because they're in the land of the dead, so we're solely interested in the land of the quick. So now we're generating an enemy of type A at the red gate. That's one of these. Now it's important that they still go in, because then if we spawn something over here and we run out of miniatures, they get extra activations potentially. Anyway, so going to round 8. We reset, so we do our upkeep. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, wow. 5 combat and an interact. That's superb.
I've got 1 enemy, but we don't have
We don't have any.
Good.
So if you go first...
I've got a load of interacts, though, which is good.
That is good. Oh, that's interesting then. Clear your enemy activation, will get you out of the way there. But with all those interacts, well, you can either get searching or you could go for some potions, because there's 2 more potions that could be found there on 2 successes.
Yeah. Let's try to give it 1 go.
Yep.
How many? Oh, do I use smash?
Not for a search, no.
Okay.
If you're going to go against a treasure chest, then you can use it.
Yeah.
You got it. So that is got to be dialed down to 1, and then I'll give you a potion.
Thank you. I've got another speed.
There's only 2 in the deck, so that's pretty awesome. Okay. Well, you could use 1 of your speeds to move into this other zone, or you could continue to search there. But if you go into the other one, you could use smash potentially, couldn't you? Treasure chest there. Depends on whether you want another potion.
Well, I kind of want the thingy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're going to use the first 1 of your speed to go there. Use an interact, see if you can get the gravestone.
Yeah.
2 successes needed on that one. No. Oh dear. Okay. All right. Stop for a second then, and I'll drop this one off with that, so we know that that one's aligned. Okay. We've got a trap here, which isn't good. But we're going to need to know what that one is. So I'll step in there. I've got full health at the end of the day. You have to be very, very unlucky. I'm going to do a search to find the item. Yeah. In the hope that I can. I've got it. I've got 2 successes exactly, but I've got to survive the trap.
Yeah.
It's a dud. Something clicks, but nothing happens. If a trap was ever present, it seems it is in disrepair and it no longer poses a threat. I was like, it's going to be my luck. I'm going to get the flame trap or something, and it's just going to blow my face off. So I can put this. No, the fire trap. That's pretty nasty as well.
Well, the swinging blades are now officially my worst one.
So that's a 3. So that's actually got to go all the way around here. So I'm just going to jog round there. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So that's my turnover, but I'm in the zone. I haven't dropped this off yet. So you know that one there has just got to go in there. Okay. So I'll probably have another search for it.
Yeah.
Yep. Good luck.
Oh. Try and roll all my dice. No.
Okay.
I am blind as a bat.
That's not good. You only got one more go at it if you want it, or you could decide to spend that trying to get the chest open with your smash.
I want it.
Okay. No. Okay. Well, I guess that stone of Skelos has been well hidden. So that concludes the hero phase, correct? I know you've still got a class left.
Yeah, I'm not going to bank that one because it's a silly one to bank.
Well, it's not entirely silly, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Right now it is.
Okay, yeah. Yep. You're using heat up dice instead of cooldown dice on your red mist, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Okay, so that is the end of the hero phase. There are no enemies in the land of the quick. We're going to do a spawn. Now we've got enemies in the land of the quick. I spoke too soon. We've got 2 shamblers. At least they're slow, but they are where you need to go. All right. That now gives us turn 9, round 9, and we're on the clock here.
Have you dialed up and down?
I didn't have to. I've got nothing to do regarding that. I've got 2 combats there, 3 Triskelions. I'll be using those to move around and to drop stuff off, and 1 interact. Okay.
Oh,
well, you just stay with whatever you're doing for the time being. You got enemies?
I got 2.
Great. Okay, that's not good.
No.
All right. Well, okay, I'm going to spend a class to drop that off there, right? Then you've got 1 interact. I've got 1 interact. I can use a class, and so I can spend 1 class to get me here. Then I think I'm going to need to spend, I'm going to have to leave you with that, spend an interact to come into here. Then I'm going to use a combat, no, I'm going to use that as a holy smite against one of these guys. No, I'm not. That's bad. Let's put that back. I'm going to have to use combat using Divine Pulse. Divine Pulse is going to ignore the fact I can't see.
Take the dice off. You didn't use it.
Yeah. 4 damage so far. 4 damage. So both of those are now on 2 health because I just used Divine Pulse as a combat, which is the other application of it. Okay, so I've now got two more things I can do, but I'm in the dark. So Trina's going to activate. These guys are going to attack. I would then lose my cubes. So it's actually better if I back off with the combat before Trina activates.
Yeah.
I'll back off into your zone. Then I don't have my interact anymore, so I'm going to use my class just to get a bit further away. Go to here. Okay. Run away. Actually, instead, I'll go back 1. I will stay there, and I will. No, Providence is just for me. I made that mistake before. Yeah, no, I am going to do that. I'm done.
You're done.
Yeah. you're going to have to deal with those as best you can. Or at least I've chipped them down. So you're going to have to clear your enemy activations. So that's one of these guys going to come into your zone because he can reach you. Ooh. There we go. So he's in, and he is going to roll 2 dice against you. Missed you. Good. This one's going to stagger after him. Remember, these guys are probably chasing me because I just burned their faces with divine energy. And it's really put them off. They maybe got no eyes because they've missed you completely. All right. So with what you've got left, you definitely need to do the search for the gravestone, don't you? No questions about that. You've still got light, so you can probably kill these guys if you need to. But yeah.
Come on.
Yes! 2 successes. All right. So we know it's got a 2 on it. So now you can spend 1 to go through to the next zone. Yeah?
Yeah.
Another 1 to drop it off. Yeah?
Yeah.
You want to do that? So spend 1. Spend a cube. And then I'll move him to there. Yeah. Spend another cube and you can drop this off. So we're now completely aligned. And then you could come back this way.
Okay.
Okay. So then it's the end of the hero phase and we're going into the enemy phase. You finish first, you activate first. So we're going to get one of these guys. He's going to come through into here and you've got to attack me. All right? So 2 dice. And he's missed me. He has. He's lost his eyes, mate. I've burned his eyes out. Now I've got to bring that guy in. No, it's my roll.
You want me rolling?
And he's hit me for 1 damage.
See?
So I take 1 stun. And then we've got to bring in an enemy, maybe. We've got an enemy of type B, which is a shambling corpse. But it's just the one of them coming in over here. Now, we've still got a couple in bank. So they're not going to start getting extra activations just yet. So we're going into round 10. And we reset our cards. We do our upkeep. Yeah, I'm rolling well. This is now 4 combats. I've got to lose 1, haven't I? I'll lose a combat straight away because I've got 4 combats. Pass and interact. There we go. So that's my stun paid for. All right.
Right. So what's our objective now?
We've got everything done. We need to get out of here. Yeah. So. Do
we need to clear to leave? Or
no, we just can go.
Oh.
So I'm going to spend, well, how much health have I got on you? We're all right. I'm going to go to here on an interact. Just going to leave those guys behind. You've still got, have you got the potion of speed?
Mm-hmm.
No, you haven't.
I've got a new one.
Okay, well, drink that then with perhaps an interact.
Yep.
And roll a dice. Yeah.
A blue?
Yeah, that's going to be your cooldown. So you've got it for 2 rounds. That means you can now move 1, 2, you just a blur. There you go, those guys are going to see you. And now we can exit. So I'll spend a combat and exit. And then you've got to exit. Okay. So we're out by round 10. However, upon the exit, you stagger out into the fading light of day, wishing only to collapse in the long grasses. But silhouetted against the sun is a wretched creature, resting its grip on a great sword of daunting size. A scarified Rightgeist warrior. It tilts its head to one side, and dead eyes of a bloodshot nature bore into you as sigils burned into this creature's flesh glow and become ablaze. Master must get tired of always being right. Said the meddlers would come if we arranged things here just so. He's got the dead-eye gaze, see? Been watching. He sees through my eyes. Knows you now. The thing sighs heavily, raising aloft his sword. Don't like you much. Evil eyes narrow. You carry on meddling. If and you can get past me. Defeat the scarified Rightgeist to complete the scenario.
Oh my word. Are we outside
Yep,
so the
we are.
torch doesn't matter. If
The
it
torch
went
doesn't
out.
matter. We're in daylight.
Okay. Well, I should probably have used an interact to go out
Well,
rather than my combat.
Well, possibly.
Yeah.
I'm going to use Holy Smite straight away because he is undead.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He's got 10 health and 1 defense. I haven't. It's a class. Sorry, it's an a Triskelion. Right. So here we go. We'll see if I can get us a head start. I've got 2 hits. That is enough to get through to defense, which takes 1 away.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 1 plus 4 is 5 damage.
Ooh.
He's
How
on
much
half
health?
health. He's on half health. Yeah. So that's probably the best. Oh no! I can also use Divine Pulse as an attack. It doesn't leave us much to defend ourselves with, so we better kill him.
Oh God! If you kill him in one go,
I'm gonna dance.
Scream.
No, 1. It's only 1.
Okay.
So that doesn't get through his defense. Okay, that was unlucky. All right then. So,
Oh,
but
well.
we've got no health. We've got no healing for next round.
More.
Oh, I've got 1 combat left, so we'll just attack him with that. Oh, and I've got 2, so he does take 1 more damage. Okay, so he took 1 more damage, so it's down to 4 health.
Mm-hmm.
What have you got? 2 combats.
I've got everything in.
Red mist him, and see if you can get him.
Blow, though.
No, but you can red mist him.
I can definitely red mist him.
Red mist him. Red mist him.
Long sword.
Yep. So this is going to be pretty. If you hit, you get. Yeah, come on.
I really wish I'd saved that combat now.
But you've got to get those through. So he gets 1 subtracted. You still get 1, so you do get to add all your damage. So
that's
he's gone.
2.
He's gone. Okay. So we chop him up. He's defeated before he does his absolutely devastating attacks.
Oh my God.
And we can now say as above and so below has been completed with 2 rounds to spare in 2-player. Obviously, we will continue to play test the scenario. We hope that you've enjoyed joining us here for this playtest. And we hope you'll enjoy joining us for many more in the future. As above, so below will be added to all of the adventure game scenarios, this is one of, though it's not one from the campaign. It's just an additional one that you can play with friends. And I would advise playing the campaign with all your enemies, of course. And then there's the dungeon crawler scenarios. There's 10 of those, but then we're adding Monument of Skulls to that and whatever other dungeon crawler ones we put up between now and fulfillment. So everyone gets an extra scenario. That is as above, so below. Thank you for your time. And until next time, heroes, blessed be.